I want to talk a little bit about the StudioDock from Kensington for the iPad. I made a video about it on the main channel, on the Daily Tech channel, and people really liked it. The StudioDock I'm talking about. And I think the video too is doing well. But the StudioDock as a thing, as an object, as an accessory, has some obvious benefits. You just look at it and you see what it does, what it can add to an iPad, and the new experience that it creates. And you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. It makes a lot of sense. Maybe not for everybody, but I can see some utility there. But the main feedback that I saw in the comments was, whoa, I really like this until I saw the price. And yeah, it's expensive. It's basically $400. Now you got an iPad, especially an iPad Pro, and you add $400 to it. That's a lot of money. I saw a lot of people who said, man, I would pay $200 for that, but even that I would feel like is too expensive. Or a lot of people are like, keep it under $99. This is basically just, a dock. What is even being added here? I saw people even complaining about the Ethernet port. Like, everything's wireless. Why would you even have that? And one thing, it's the internet. People are going to complain. That's just something that happens, especially on YouTube. But what I want to do in this video is kind of talk through, the price versus what you get. And this is not my full review. I do plan on doing an actual review later once I've had, more time with it, actually using it. And I've definitely been using it. I really love using it in sidecar mode. It's great for that. But that's not really getting the full potential out of it, obviously. So I've got it, my Mac here, and I've got the StudioDock right here, and I'm able to charge stuff really conveniently without a bunch of clutter. I don't really love having, for instance, one of the pucks, the wireless charging puck, just on the desk with that cable sticking out. If I'm going to have something here anyways on my desk, like the StudioDock, it might as well be multifunctional and do a lot instead of just one dedicated thing. So, instead of just being an iPad stand, I really appreciate it that it can charge my phone with Qi wireless charging and my AirPods. That's great. The biggest thing for me is I love my Magic Keyboard. And so I have had situations where I undock it from use at the desk and want to use my Magic Keyboard. I got to take it out and put it in. And that's not ideal. But what are you going to do? If you want to use your iPad at your desk, and get a lot out of it, something like the StudioDock is exactly what you'd be looking for. So is it worth that $400? I will say this, with my, week or whatever, a few days longer than a week with this device so far, I love it for what it is, but it does feel expensive. I'm not sure I would really want to go out and pay that $400 for it. Now, that's coming from somebody who still uses their Mac a lot. I have to, for lots of reasons that I've talked about before. Two big ones would be the software, things like Final Cut Pro. I need that Pro software. And also just proper external display support. I really need that, want that for my kind of business. But if I was going all in on the iPad, I can't think of a cooler way to do that than this. So if I was going all in on an iPad, maybe I really would consider spending that $400. One thing that's super valuable that I think is not getting talked about a lot with the StudioDock is just where it sticks your iPad. It doesn't put it as close to the desk as possible, like so many other iPad stands do. It raises it up, and it's a little bit more comfortable, more ergonomic to have it closer to your eye line. It's not perfectly, lined up with your head, with your face, but it's enough of a boost up there that it makes a huge difference. I really, really like that. The ports are brilliant in my mind for this reason. It's precisely because they're around the back and on the side and out of the way, and not adding a lot of bulk to the side like a normal hub or dock for your iPad would. The second you plug in a hub for your iPad on the side, it's dangling off and it's not looking good, and you're plugging stuff in and that's sitting there dangling too. But with the StudioDock, that stuff is more hidden. It stays out of the way. It's a lot more aesthetic. It feels a lot less cluttered. And I really appreciate that. And also, it's just of such a high quality. I think a lot of people, when you just see the video, you miss that. But it's a really solid, well-engineered product. I can just tell. I could tell from the moment my fingertips touched it and brought it out of the box and took it out of the wrapping, this was going to be a high-quality product. And it is. So it's going to last a long time. If you pay $400, you don't want to use it for 6 months and have it break. I have definitely had tons of really flimsy iPad products, accessories hit my desk. You guys remember I made a video about that really flimsy iPad keyboard, which was cool because it rotated all the way around, and it articulated well, but it was just junk. And I said that in the video. I said, this is probably not something you guys want to buy. This is not something like that. This StudioDock is built to last and to look good. So the question is it too expensive for someone to actually want to buy it and use it? I think the answer is it depends. If you're just looking for a stand, obviously $400 is way too much. Look at something like the Hoverbar Duo from 12 South. That's what I would recommend. But if your answer is, well, I'm going to use it with Sidecar and the Mac, then the answer is maybe. You know, I've done a lot of that in the last week or so, and I've found it to be great. I don't know if invaluable is quite the word, but great for sure, just because of all the extra functionality and the placement. When you move into the realm of considering going iPad only for your setup at your desk, nothing else, then I think the StudioDock really starts to look good. And you have to say, yeah, it could be worth $400.